weighed myself and I weighed a little bit over 400 pounds.
To me, it was traumatic. No, I don't want that to happen. I don't want my kids to have to experience that.
We have to go out to eat, but you're paying.
Obesity is a really chronic, complex condition.
I cleaned out the closet full of old apologies and followed the doubt that kept stalking me. Said no when I meant it, said yes when I cared. Stopped carrying guilt like it paid my rent there. I'm not here to shrink so you can feel tall. I'm done being small just to keep the peace at all.
Talking about weight loss is such a sensitive topic because it's so deeply personal for so many people. And when you really get to know people trying to lose weight, I'm sure all of us have those people in our lives, you realize the motivations are very different. You have people trying to maybe lose weight for a special event coming up in their life, others trying to just lose weight so they can live long enough to see their grandkids. But whatever the obvious reason behind trying to lose those pounds, there's a very emotional underlying common thread that just seems to run through everyone. Weight loss isn't just about numbers on a scale, it's about reclaiming control and power, breaking generational cycles, and embracing a healthier, more fulfilling life. Some people spend a lifetime trying to achieve this, and others have turned to what we've been seeing all over the news as of late: weight loss drugs. Weight loss journeys contain emotional, psychological, and even cultural obstacles. And when people are finally able to overcome them, you witness someone truly stepping into a new chapter of life with confidence and with purpose. It's beautiful to see. You are a local through and through, true desert local. How would you describe what it's like growing up in the Coachella Valley for people who aren't from here?
Growing up actually in the neighborhood that I was in, it was very, everybody was very united, everybody knew everybody.
She's a true local, born in the Coachella Valley to a big, loving Latino family. And for her, childhood memories were always family and togetherness and music playing, a really close-knit community, and of course, though, lots and lots of food.
I would say our culture really went 90% of our culture is food. Being a Latina, growing up with very heavy, greasy items were very well known for us, and I feel like it's just 90%.
Do you ever remember being aware of, some of what I'm eating is unhealthy? Was that a focus in your family, like macros, good carbs?
No, I feel like that's not something that a lot of people check on. I feel like it tastes so good, I have to eat it or I have to make it. That's how we grew up. Oh, like this tastes good at this restaurant, let's try to make it at home. It's so weird when you don't have it.
Dance takes you back to your childhood. What were the things that you loved about dance way back when?
High school me was very confident. I feel like I was just so into dance that nothing else bothered me. I wasn't like the skinniest girl, but I was very healthy back then. After graduation, you have to start working, and then, little sparks of starts dying because you're not doing what you love so much. And then you get into that relationship, and then now you're here and you have to start all over again.
It was interesting because Vanessa started talking about her childhood, right? Growing up in that big Latino family with all the food, but she danced in high school, so weight wasn't really an issue. But then she jumped, when she was talking to me, to this phase of her life where she had all this weight to lose. And I noticed she left out a big chunk of time in her life, like what made her gain that weight. And I realized, just looking back in 15 years as a journalist, you learn more sometimes from what people don't say than from what they do say. And I asked her if she intentionally left out that chunk of time, and the answer was yes. Can you talk a little bit about, if you're comfortable, what are some of the things that relationship made you feel that made you want to eat?
So that relationship I did intentionally leave out. I was with someone who I thought loved me for who I was. Little did I know that he tried molding me into a person that he wanted me to be, someone that no one wanted, which included a lot of eating, a lot of isolation, and a lot of manipulation. I ate literally more than possibly 5 times a day, and they were all very heavy items. And it was always we have to go out to eat, but you're paying. I'm telling you, we're gonna go out to eat and you're gonna pay. that was the whole situation with him. You know, like things have to come to an end after your eyes finally open. I had to leave the situation, not only for me, but for my family, because it was getting very stressful for them. So that started putting up red flags for my family. So I thought it was time to let go of something that was blocking me from being me.
I really had been paying too much attention to myself, paying more attention to work and other people. As I was going to the doctor, would go to the doctor routinely and would hear him say, oh, this lab value is looking kind of bad. It's pre-diabetic. You might want to pay attention to that. But sort of ignored it, like a lot of people do. It's like, well, that's just pre-diabetic. But then as it started to settle in, other family members' health issues, and also getting closer to early 60s, it's like, well, do I want to live like this, feeling unhealthy for another 40, 50 years? And the answer was no.
So Bill's been working at Desert Oasis Healthcare for quite some time. Work has always, I'd say, really been a big focus on his life. He's, for much of his life, really focused professionally on that work. And as happened so often when we are so consumed professionally, our self-care falls at the wayside, right? He told me that over the years he was seeing all this lab work but kind of ignoring it, that it showed that he was pre-diabetic for a very long time until something finally clicked.
The major shift that I made was, what do I have to do? I started the process of just not neglecting other people, taking care of them, but taking care of me first. Maternal side of my family, my grandmother, my mother, and all of her siblings have had diabetes and have died of complications of diabetes. So cardiac issues, my grandma had gangrene, but chose to die rather than having amputation. I remember those experiences of visiting her in the hospital and being in that. To me, it was traumatic. It's like, no, I don't want that to happen. I don't want my kids to have to experience that. I don't want our family to have to take yet another medication on top of everything else. So it was like, enough of this. These are all things that I can control. I know enough, because I work in healthcare, of what we say for all of our patients. It's like, if we're recommending it for everybody else, certainly I can do it too. We had a Weight Watchers program at work. And at DOHC for employees. It was great. A lot of us benefited from that.
DOHC actually played a really big role in Bill's weight loss. It was, I think, around the time that he started really deciding he wanted to make a change, that he started doing Weight Watchers with some of his colleagues. And they just, were doing stuff together at work, whether it's walking on breaks together, doing yoga, those kinds of things. And that's when he said he started really losing weight, and he just loved the way that he felt. It
was working for me. In that first cycle, I lost 20 some pounds, and that was pre-COVID. So I started to exercise more. We got equipment here at the house.
As he was doing Weight Watchers, he started to really lose weight and just feeling really good about it. But obviously, it's still new, right? There's an uncertainty. He wasn't sure if this was sustainable, if he could just keep doing this for a long time. And then around that time, his workplace started a trial for the weight loss drug Wegovy, and it reminded him of a medication he took years ago that really helped him. And so he volunteered then to be a part of the trial, because at the end of the day, he said, look, for him, he just didn't think eating healthy and working out was enough.
I had taken GLP compound 10 years ago in Florida, and it worked then. I lost 25 pounds doing that. So I knew there was something about my metabolism that it's not just about exercise and food. There's something else, but I knew the GLP worked. It just seemed like logical, try it again. Because all of the things, behaviorally, eating, exercise, that wasn't working by itself. The medication helps reduce the desire to eat. And so that's why I added it, and I'm glad I did, because it was been very helpful for me to do that.
So Bill is just one of many people who have turned to modern medicine as of late to help them lose weight. And clinical pharmacists have told us that they're seeing a real big uptick in people turning to them for that help. And it's really fascinating to see the way that these weight loss medications are really transforming the weight loss industry.
Prior, if you wanted to see the same level of weight loss for patients as we're seeing with this medication, the only option was invasive surgery, such as bariatric surgery. A lot of patients understandably didn't want to go through those procedures, or they wouldn't meet the qualification to get the procedure done. But now we're seeing almost same result as what we would have seen in a procedure with these medications. And that's big. I think that's a really huge effect. That's one reason I think why this drug got the attention that they got. The other one is that the way that this medication works. Previously, whatever we had on the market was really to get your, metabolism going. Let's, have the heart work a little bit faster so we can burn the fat faster. Now, this is different, and I don't want to make it too sciencey, but these medications, they go after the imbalances, hormonal imbalances in the body that can lead to weight gain. So they're looking at the root of the issue. They're looking at the hormones that are responsible for your appetite and your hunger. So they're taking an absolutely different approach to treating weight management and obesity. I think for these two reasons, we see that these drugs got the attention that we see they have today.
When people come to her for help with weight management, she says these are people who have been trying for much of, if not more than half of their life, a really huge portion of their life to try to lose weight. As you can imagine, it's extremely emotional.
Firsthand, I've witnessed that there's a lot of frustration and emotional toll on this patient trying to lose the weight for many, many years. A good portion of them, for half of their life, they've been trying to lose that weight, but they were unable to. We get them started on the correct medication. We make sure that we link them with a health coach to help them make lifestyle changes along with taking medication, and we see results. And after we see results, we feel that not only our patients look and feel physically healthier, but they're also feeling healthier emotionally and psychologically.
To better understand today's options, we head to DOHC Studios, where Lindsay Valenzuela, the VP Population Health Integration, and Sarah Tripp, the Manager of Health Education, discuss weight management medications and other supportive approaches.
We have lots of people who have then gone to their primary care, they've been interested in using weight loss medications, and these drugs really have been called game changers. And I think that goes back to when you look at previously available medications used for weight management or weight loss, their efficacy or how well they work is usually between 3% and 6% weight loss. But for many of our patients, that certainly is just not going to get them where they need to be health-wise. So these newer medications really carry up to 15% weight loss. So the ability to lose 15% of your weight.
It's significant, and we've seen some, really amazing transformations with these medications. But I tell absolutely everyone that I talk to is that we need to think about, when we're talking about 15% or 20% of weight, we're talking about total body weight. Usually when we step on a traditional scale, it just gives us a total number. But what it's not telling us is what is making up that number. You've got really your fat mass, and then we've got fat-free mass. We've got water, we've got bone, we've got muscle, and muscle is really key to metabolism. We call it weight loss, but really we should probably call it fat loss, because that's really what people want to lose usually, is that the fat mass, not muscle mass. That's your lean tissue. That is the driver of our metabolism. That's what keeps us strong and healthy, supports our bones. So to support muscles, we want to do a couple of things. We want to make sure we're getting enough protein. So protein is our macronutrient. I tell people it's kind of like our body's building materials, right? Like we build things out of them, and that would include muscle, of course. So getting proper dietary protein supports muscle. So anyone that I'm working with, we really talk about getting some healthy sources of protein, i.e. a little bit less processed, leaner sources of protein. For example, that could be something like a low-fat cottage cheese, or a string cheese, some low-fat Greek yogurt, really lean meats, or fish. Now the other side of that, of course, that we haven't talked about yet, is doing some resistance exercise, where we're challenging our muscles with some resistance bands or some weights. Whether they're taking these medications or not, it's going to support them keeping that muscle and hopefully predominantly losing fat instead.
Why is it so important for people who need to lose weight for health reasons to lose that weight? I mean, what are the real health implications of being overweight?
I really cannot name enough benefit that weight loss can have. Just to begin with, it would really make your metabolic healthier. If you have diabetes, it will help you get your diabetes under better control. If you have hypertension, losing weight will eventually help you get your blood pressure under a better control. I've had so many patients that were on 2 or 3 medication for their blood pressure, and once they start losing the weight, we were able to de-escalate or lower their treatment. So that can really be one of the main influences that weight loss have, that you will be able to have a better control on the chronic diseases that you're currently dealing with.
There's such a huge number of people who so eagerly took this weight loss medication, and understandably so, for good reason. But the reality is it is very new in the big picture of life and science and research.
They really work and they're really effective, but because they're relatively new, we really don't have much information as far as long-term use of this medication. All the clinical trials that have been done so far was for an intent that the patients are going to be on this medication lifelong. So, and this is a question that I'm often asked by my patients too: doctor, can I ever get off this medication? Or for how long do I need to take medication? Well, that's one of the challenges we have. We really don't have a clear-cut answer to that yet. It really depends on the lifestyle changes. It really depends on your metabolic type that you have in your body. It really depends on different things.
The name of the game is sustainability. So my goal for someone is almost to think about this medication as like, what if we were only going to take the medication for 6 months or a year? Because realistically, not everyone is necessarily going to get on one of these medications and stay on it indefinitely. And, you know, even again, someone who's not taking a medication, we tend to focus on the weight loss and how am I going to get to X goal, but I tell people I want to focus beyond that on maintenance. And that's kind of the thing where we want to jump ahead and look ahead at that. And that is where changing eating and exercise habits really play into being able to maintain the weight loss.
And I think all of these considerations about what we're eating, how we're moving, considerations of long-term goals, they're important because unfortunately right now, everybody doesn't have access to these medications. It may be that my weight or my BMI doesn't yet qualify me, even if I see the value in bringing my BMI under 25. Also, depending upon what type of health plan I'm on. Many people on a senior health plan or on a health plan through Medicare, if they're using it simply for weight loss without a cardiovascular indication, you know, if they don't have cardiovascular disease, if they don't have obstructive sleep apnea or other qualifiers, they may not be able to get these medications under their insurance. And while you can pay out of pocket, pay cash, it's still very expensive for many people. So I think it's important that we consider all of the other ways that we can support our weight, manage our weight, improve weight maintenance without the use of medications, just because not everybody has access to them.
Right, absolutely.
Our health education here at Desert Oasis Healthcare, can you maybe talk to a little bit about the classes that we offer and some of the one-on-ones that we can offer people to help support that?
Absolutely. So as you know, we have a very robust fall prevention program. For everything from just a one-time informational class that also gives some guidance on, you know, options for activity that people can pursue on their own, because as we know with physical activity, it's really about finding something that is fun.
We have dietitians such as yourself who can talk about designing an eating plan that helps to either manage weight, maintain weight, lose weight. But some of the commentary that we've gotten in the past is that it simply doesn't work with people's lifestyle, especially some of our younger working patients. We've really looked towards tools such as AI health coaching to help build in coaching, information, feedback about diet and activities after hours or on weekends. And, you know, how has your team really felt about adding in those tools to help patients?
Absolutely. So as you know, we're a team, yes, got registered dietitians, but also nurse educators and health coaches. And so there is a lot of that one-on-one help available as well, and that can be a little bit more personalized. But you're right, AI has been wonderful. Not because, again, it's going to replace dietitians and health coaches, exactly for that personalized. And also here's, at Desert Oasis, we offer in-person and virtual, which has been very popular with a lot of our, busy members who may not have time to, drive to an appointment for that. So we can accommodate that way, but we love the use of apps and AI because it's wonderful for those daily check-ins and daily reminders that your real life dietitian may not be able to speak with you daily, but it gives those prompts. So AI is a fantastic addition to all of that.
While some people turn to weight loss medications to help them in their journey, there's also a lot of people who choose not to. For example, we found Vanessa, who said she really just wanted to give it a go on her own.
I had prescription medication in the back of my head. It was always, if I don't lose weight, this is the last resort that I'm gonna go to. But with the motivation of my brother and my coworker, I always had, let me try this first. And then if it really comes to that, because I know some people have that issue where they can't lose the weight on their own, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to see if I could do it on my own first. And then if it doesn't work out, then obviously I was gonna speak to my doctor and then go that route. But I am happy that, everything worked out for the best. Everything happens for a reason. And I was able to lose the weight on my own without the medication that a lot of people are using today.
You hear so many people talk about how losing weight isn't just a physical transformation, but also an emotional one, a psychological one, a spiritual one. For Vanessa, overeating was very much tied to an abusive relationship, so then getting healthy and getting her weight under control, it was a freedom and a departure from all of that.
The person who felt like she was gonna ever resort to anything, I wanted to leave her behind because that's not who I wanna be. Who's gonna be looking up to me now? Who do I want to represent, not only as me, but also in the company that I work in? I don't want them to look at me and be like, oh, why does that person always look depressed? So that's why that person had to go far behind and be left behind, no looking back.
So then you're about a month in. How did that first month go?
The first month was the hardest month. I had a goal in mind. It was not weight-wise, because if I go in weight-wise and I don't hit that goal, I'm just gonna go back. I know it, and I knew that's who I was mentally. I knew that if I set that exact weight and I didn't get there, I was just gonna resort back to food. So thank goodness, just with the motivation of my brother and my coworker, they pushed me, they helped me, and within that first month of losing 20 pounds and realizing that I can do it on my own, I was like, okay, that's how much I could lose. Now imagine what I could do in a year.
Vanessa grew up in a culture where food was the primary language of love and connection, but that comfort turned into a cage during a toxic relationship defined by manipulation and isolation, a dark chapter that pushed her weight to over 400 pounds. Today, she's rewritten that narrative. She found a partner who loved her at her heaviest, proving that her worth wasn't tied to a number. And now, with his support, she's no longer eating for survival. She's dancing for her future.
Being in the situation that I was before, thinking that I was nothing, thinking that no one's ever gonna love me, and then finding this man who loved me from when I was so big, it warms me up in a very good way, because I finally found that person that I thought I was never gonna find. And I'm happy I found him. And I'm just waiting for that moment that he sees me in that dress from what I was over a year ago to what I am gonna be on that day.
It's interesting, I think women put such an emphasis on looking perfect and beautiful on their wedding days, myself included, but at the end of the day, I think we're choosing to marry the person at the end of the aisle because we know they'd love us on our no makeup days or our lowest days or our worst days. And for Vanessa, I think she'll really be thinking of that unconditional love that she knows her fiance has for her as she starts shopping for her dream wedding dress.
So the wedding is a big motivator for me, obviously because of the dress, which we're gonna go look at tomorrow. We're gonna start dress shopping tomorrow. I feel like that's a big motivator, and that's gonna put a lot of flame under me to keep pushing and to make sure that, one, the dress looks good the day I try it on, and two, the dress looks even more amazing when I have it on the day of.
And while she is doing all of this for herself to get back to the version of herself that she really loves, she said something so powerful to me. That's the message that she hopes her future daughter learns someday when she hears about her mom's weight loss journey.
If there's anything I could teach her is that she's always gonna be worth it. I never want her to be like, Mom, this guy told me this, now I feel like this. Because obviously I've been in that situation, and that's one thing that I've always feared as being a mother.
After this conversation, Vanessa married the love of her life. She looked radiant in her wedding dress, confident and glowing. We celebrate this beautiful milestone with her and wish her a lifetime of happiness. Today, Bill has traded chronic illness for global adventure. No longer a spectator in his own life, he's now exploring the world with a body that can finally keep up with his ambitions.
My partner and I started to travel this past year. We went to 4 different countries last year. In a couple of weeks, we're heading to Egypt, and we're going to Greece, Puerto Rico, a couple of different places this year. That we just continue to do that. That we're able to go to the places that we want to, and when we get there, that we're able to walk and enjoy it. And we live in the most beautiful part of the country. You can go pretty much in any direction and have a great time. Just to be able to have independence, that I can still drive, that I can walk, I can get around my house, that I don't have to be reliant on other people to take care of me. I've seen that in prior generations, and I don't want that. I want to be able to live independently.
I think weight loss drugs are here to stay. And I think the use of these drugs will only get coming and coming as we go. We have obesity epidemic, and that's not going anywhere. And these drugs so far have been our greatest tool to combat this epidemic. Weight management will become standard practice of disease state management, the same way we're treating diabetes and hypertension.
At its core, weight loss is about so much more than just the numbers on a scale. It's about reclaiming your health, your confidence, your life. Whether your journey's fueled by a desire to break generational patterns, or maybe heal from past struggles, or just simply feel stronger and feel more energized, every step forward truly is a victory. And as we saw with Bill and Vanessa, there's going to be challenges, moments of doubt, but lasting change comes from persistence, self-compassion, and the belief that you're worth the effort. Journeys are very different, right? Everybody's very unique, but one thing is the same, I think, for everyone. Taking control of your health is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself and for those who love you.